Hello and welcome to the Good Boys Gone Bland Haunted Holiday Hotel. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Good Boys Gone Bland, Season 4, Episode 5, I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm your co-host, Denali.
I'm your co-host, Ryan.
I'm your co-host, Jace.
We did it, guys. We all agreed on our position this time. I think this is the only time where we were like, oh, we're all co-hosts. You know, I think we normally go through this kind of shtick where, you know, I'm just maybe I ruined the moment by even mentioning it, but I'm psyched that we're all on the same page this time.
It's like pitching a perfect game, you know?
Yeah, we really knocked that intro out of the park. This is our 5th episode in the Haunted Holiday Hotel season. For those of you loyal watchers who listen to all of our episodes in a row, and you're thinking, hey, wait a sec, I thought the guys said they're going to be reviewing Midsummer this week. Well, you're not crazy. That was the original plan.
You didn't hear that.
You are crazy.
You never heard it. We never
We're
said
coming from
that.
the inside of your head. We did attempt to do Midsummer. Ryan and Jace did their due diligence watching the movie. I did try to watch the movie. I made it about 20 minutes in. I've been pretty forward with being a sensitive person to scary movies. I hit the eject button. Thank you guys for understanding my mental breakdown of this movie. So in lieu of just having two of us watch this movie while I ejected, we decided to do an emergency pivot to a different Midsummer holiday because we decided Midsummer was just not only did I not like it, it was pretty fucked up. Not it was
riffable.
Probably hard to riff on for
Not
us.
riffable.
We had an emergency GBGB meeting, and we decided to do a more, I guess, fun Midsummer holiday, which was 4th of July. Ryan, you pitched I Know What You Did Last Summer, which was a great pick, which is what we reviewed this week. A classic.
Yeah. By the way, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome for pitching Midsummer.
Hey, I was totally on board for Midsummer, and then I was like, Jesus Christ. So here's a warning for those of you who are sensitive like me, and that's totally okay. Midsummer's a lot. It's a lot, guys. A24, congratulations. You made a fucked up movie, and I couldn't finish it. It was fucked up, guys. It's fucked up.
Fine. I mean, that's kind of the idea behind horror, is that like it pushes boundaries and it makes you in some ways afraid of dying, right? But sometimes those lines can get blurred, and there's no shame in that. And if any of our viewers are like, well, god dang it, I watched these movies before your episodes come out, we're sorry. I don't think that probably happened, but hopefully you can watch this I Know What You Did Last Summer instead.
Watch that movie instead.
Ryan, Spitfire, Midsummer. What are you giving it?
Oh man, I'd probably give it a 9.
A 9? That's pretty good. That's a good score.
And a holiday meter?
Ooh,
Spiritometer?
I'm gonna go with 6.
Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling with you. I'm going 5 on the spiritometer for Midsummer, and then probably 8.
Okay.
For the movie.
Solid. That's a good score. Well, there we have it, folks.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Know that. If you are listening to this right now and you did not watch it, it is a not maybe endorsement. If you have a strong, if you don't care, I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
No, yeah, it's if you got a good stomach, go ahead.
It's an uncomfortable movie, no matter who you are, probably.
Oh, yeah. It's like they have a checklist, and they're like, okay, we got these people. Next scene, we got these other people.
So those of you who are like, fuck, I just watched this movie and I was hoping to look for these good boys to help me digest this film. I hope our scores are enough for you. Go do yourself a favor and do a palate cleanser. You know, watch I Know What You Did Last Summer and come back to this episode. And we can go through this together, or just stick around and we can go through this journey together.
Yeah, honestly, you don't have to watch these movies.
You know,
don't want to listen to this.
There's honestly a lot of I've talked to a few of our audience members, like they don't always watch the movies. Like I've gotten texts that are like, oh dude, thanks for digesting that movie for me, because I was gonna watch it but it sounds dog shit terrible and I'm not gonna see it now.
That sounds like one entire season that we did.
Yeah. I wonder which one it was.
Ben Affleck.
This oh sorry, go ahead, Jace.
I was gonna say, if you ever wanted to find out what your TV tastes like, watch I Know What You Did Last Summer. We need a palate cleanser.
This is definitely the hottest cast I think we've ever had. We've got late 90s Freddie Prinze Jr., Ryan Philippe, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and of course Sarah Michelle Gellar. Big hitters for the late 90s, early 2000s gang. But before we get into the details of the movie, this movie, as you know, is a 4th of July movie. I thought maybe it might be fun to talk about maybe our favorite 4th of July activities. Maybe do you guys have like a favorite 4th of July food at like a barbecue or whatever, or a tradition you guys do for the holiday?
Yeah, I mean, I have a small tradition. Since I've been living on the East Coast, I've been spending every 4th of July with one particular couple friends. And so they live in Washington, D.C. So we'll either drive down there or they'll come up here and we do like a barbecue.
Oh, sick. They live in D.C.
Yeah.
You guys like steal the Declaration of Independence every year?
It's pretty cool. That's what kind of why I want to do like a, Nicolas Cage season. We could have maybe them on as a guest.
He's locked and loaded.
Yeah. He's Well, Jace, do you have any 4th of July festivities you like to do?
Nowadays I just sit up with my eyes open in bed and think, if you shoot off one more firework, I'm gonna come out there and kick your ass.
My God.
Are we at that point already?
No.
I hate fireworks.
I like fireworks night of.
Yes. Yeah. Totally. No, that's totally different. Like July 4th, the reason I don't like fireworks is not because of July 4th and New Year's. I don't like fireworks because of the 65 other nights that they set them off at the park, literally right out my fucking window.
Who the fuck are these people who are like
neighbors?
Oh, 6 days before the 4th, baby, light them up. Like, who are these people who don't, probably don't own a calendar? That's totally fine, but are just in case shooting them off for like a good, couple weeks prior to the holiday, just to make sure they hit the date real good.
I think it's the type of person that goes and buys fireworks early is also the type of person to not have like impulse control.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They're sitting there and they're staring at these fireworks for weeks. Like, I just gotta do one of them.
I gotta blow it. My neighbors. We sound like curmudgeons, by the way.
Oh, I know, right? But so I would have said the same thing. I would have made fun of us, right? If I was these idiots. These guys are wankers. But with a dog that gets like riled up whenever there's fireworks, it's a different thing, right? Because it's kind of, we have to be home. Like we have to make sure we're home when fireworks are going off, so we can't leave the dog alone in the evening, or else he'll
right.
Not a
poor
good
guy.
dog.
I feel like regarding fireworks, I've talked to people from other states, and it feels like everybody has the same situation where you kind of drive to like the sketchy kind of like backwoods part of your state, or across state lines to purchase fireworks in this like one firework commune where there's like 30 stands in a row, and you just pay cash and you like drive like 100 miles back. We had the same deal in Alaska. It was like that when I went to Chicago. They would drive to Indiana. It's like that in Los Angeles. It's like that in Seattle. It's kind of wild. Like, I don't know if you guys have any sketchy firework memories, but I just remember, me and my family picking up a huge amount of fireworks, spending hundreds of dollars. My family members getting lit as fuck, and then just lighting these off on the frozen lake during New Year's, and then just like having a lot of really close calls.
Yeah. My dad's work friends. So it's a similar situation in that my dad's work friends would always throw like a New Year's and 4th of July party growing up.
Yeah.
And they would always get way too inebriated. And somebody would mess up. Somebody would have the box like tip over
Oh my god.
Or somebody would throw the empty packages on the fire
Oh my
and not
lord.
realize that a certain X% of fireworks don't go off and the gunpowder is just sitting there.
Yep. So, folks, make sure you have a designated explosives expert. You know, everyone has a DD. Just have one guy who just doesn't drink for like an hour. Like,
have one
just
DE.
DE. Designated exploder.
Yeah.
And that dude explodes stuff real good. So good, guys.
Everything but your fingers.
Yeah, every time I hear fireworks, like 4th of July or something, I'm like, there's less fingers in the world now than there was a short period ago.
You set like a timer, like a day after the 5th of July is always the net number of fingers goes down.
It goes way down.
It hits like 9.99 that day for a while.
9 months later, it goes back up to normal.
Yeah, once more babies are, the polydactyly babies too kind of even it out eventually. I remember one of the close calls we had, and Jesus Christ, guys, be careful with fireworks. But one of them that we had, as I remember, we were on the lake, and I was about 10 years old, and they, one of those like mortar cannon style fireworks where you shoot it off, go straight in the air. We lit this one, and it shot up about 6 inches instead of shooting up like a couple feet. And this thing goes off, and we all just drop like it's like the Vietnam War, and we're getting like shelled. It was the craziest thing. I remember like those like huge colorful streaks just going all towards the side of me. We were all covering our faces. I thought we all fucking died, dude. Like, it was the craziest thing. My dad was literally on top of this thing. Everyone was fine. It was a miracle. But yeah, there's a lot of duds, guys. There's a lot of fireworks deaths.
We used to both of you have played with an M80 before, right? Seal bomb.
Of course. Yeah. It's a rite of passage for any redneck kid. Yeah.
My favorite thing was definitely the little pot of gasoline with the M80 on a stump, and then you put a giant over it.
No.
It's not a firework, still an explosive. You get a little plastic food cup, like a Cool Whip container. You pour some gasoline into it. You put it on a stump, and you get like fits kind of tightly over the stump. Mm-hmm. You light the M80, put it on the stump, and it shoots that motherfucker like 60 feet into the air.
Oh my god! Now, Ryan, right, real quick here. Jace just told our audience how to make a type of bomb here.
Do not do this. Please, this is not legal advice, but
yeah.
Do not try this at home. Jace is not a good example. We're actually probably going to edit one of those steps out so that you cannot do this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We're gonna edit the step out. We're gonna take out the part where Jace throws a potato in there or something. The most critical step. Jace is an engineer though, so he's probably right about making these things.
No, he's wrong. There's a step that's been omitted for legal reasons.
There's been a step, and don't make one of these. That sounds fucking crazy, Jace. I've never done anything like that. You got some real redneck engineering inside you.
It was Thomas, because his dad worked for that fishing company. He would buy seal bombs or get seal bombs from one of the fishing vessels, and he'd bring them home. And we'd have a shit ton of mortars way out, in the boonies, and we would just get into it.
Dear God. Well, that's excellent, man. Guys, don't do this. Don't do this. Look up. There is like literally millions of hours of YouTube videos to show you what this will do. So no need for a live audience for this one.
Yeah, and also just look up the cool fireworks displays. You don't have to have your own.
Yeah, it's just as good seeing it on YouTube. You guys, you guys fuck with hot dogs?
I fucks with hot dogs, bro. I fucks with hot dogs.
You fuck with hot dogs?
Yeah.
Dude, I fuck with hot dogs. Everyone kind of has like, it's like the Coke and Pepsi debate. Hot dogs or burgers. Do you guys have a preference between hot dogs and burgers?
Burgers.
Burgers always?
Yes. Because they're not.
Yeah.
That's not the same.
That is the same. Coke and Pepsi, dude. Choose a side.
Coke.
Well, you're talking about, that would be more like brand of hot dog.
Yeah.
That would be like Oscar Mayer versus Ballpark.
Dude, no one's like Oscar Mayer versus Ballpark, dude. But everyone's like, you want a hot dog or you want a burger? And I'm like, I want a fucking hot dog, dude.
Just a plain hot dog,
Yeah.
okay, is usually not going to be better than a burger.
Okay. Let me
That's
ask you
fair
this,
because
Ryan.
it's just a bunch
really
of
good-
buttholes.
There are really good hot dogs.
Yep.
I love hot dogs. I'm a sausage connoisseur.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
However, I think the burger scale goes higher,
Oh.
and it starts higher. I think that like a plain hot dog is worse than a plain burger.
Okay.
If I've got it.
Yeah.
If I am at somebody's house and it's like a Walmart 12-pack of frozen burgers versus they probably picked Oscar Mayer hot dogs because it's the equivalent, might go hot dog.
Oh baby, we got 2 hot dogs.
I can put. Well, that's the thing is, I can put hot dogs away.
Yeah.
Line the hot dogs up, okay, and they'll go down.
The burger the burger mountain is higher.
Well, right. You have to make sure that your burgers are cooked correctly. That's something that hot dogs don't have to even compete with.
Of course. Can I posit this as well? Fair points, Ryan. Don't get me wrong, burgers are great. But are there any burger eating competitions? No.
Yes.
There are hot dog eating competitions. You got celebrities like fucking what's his name, Joey Chestnut, who's the champion hot dog eater. You hear about these people on the news. You can just
I really like
down.
I really like Fred Acorn.
Fred Acorn. He's the Pepsi version of Joey Chestnut.
Washington has an annual July 4th burger eating competition.
Yeah, they're all over, dude.
Holy shit.
And literally any burger restaurant, any like Texas style or like Southern style burger restaurant will have like a burger eating thing.
34 burgers in 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
Hey, we should do that. We should have like a hot dog eating competition.
I've thought about it. Look, do you guys have a number about how many hot dogs you've eaten in like one sitting before?
I ate 7 pounds of crab once, so I think I can put away some hot dogs.
You can do Jace. I put my money on you because I think I've seen you eat the most volume of things. I think out of anybody.
I think I think Jace has eaten more food than anybody else that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Jace, I think, is a marathon eater. I'm kind of like a sprinter. I can kind of eat things really fast, but I think I get full a little faster.
Oh, I'm like a brisk walker.
Okay, yes, you're right in the middle. You're kind of the speed walker.
I cannot eat fast or else. Well, I do eat somewhat fast, but like if I do, then I really don't have a good time.
I think it would
irritable bowels.
Yeah, bad toilet time.
Ryan, this memory is vivid, and I might have actually mentioned it on the podcast before. I think it was senior year, and we were sitting somewhere, and I was like, "Man, I wish I had a 6-pack." You were like, "Jace, you are one of the most fit people I know, and if you didn't eat like shit every single fucking day, you would also be."
That's the pep talk you need to give your friends, guys.
He like roasted me for like 5 minutes, and I was probably eating a pudding cup with chocolate chips in it. Like, what?
I remember that, dude. I remember that.
So yeah, I can slam some hotties.
Slamming hotties, dude. That's a good phrase for eating hot dogs. I think I've done 6 in a barbecue before. That's not that impressive.
I was about to say my number's probably 5.
I think I've killed a pack before.
That's pretty good. At like a barbecue other people were at?
Oh yeah. I think I've killed 6 like throughout a whole barbecue. Yeah. And I was trying.
For me, usually it's like camping, and like Julie will have like 1 hot dog.
Yeah.
And like I usually go camping for 4th of July or something like that, and like my friends will have like 1 hot dog, and there'll be like 2 packs of hot dogs left over. Okay, I mean, I'm not eating anything else.
You guys think those champion hot dog eaters, like when they're eating normal hot dogs at campsites, do you think they're still doing the same technique? where they inhale the hot dog in like 1 microsecond, where they like, and they kind of just keep doing like a bunch?
No other way.
Do you think those competitions have any sort of guidelines or rules based on like modifications you can make to your body?
Okay, what do you think is
like surgery type modifications? Imagine if someone like had like a pneumatic tube installed, like they used at the bank in the 90s.
Oh, like a fan inside another tube that sucks the hot dogs down.
Like if you put
fast?
a vacuum in your butt.
Yeah, vacuum.
Yeah.
And so it goes like down. Do you have like a third esophagus? And also, you could probably eat them faster if you were like holding your head out the window of a car that's going really fast, like a ramjet engine.
Oh, yeah. So have someone kind of like throw them into your mouth.
Wouldn't you want to be laying flat so that your like body is a straight line?
Okay. You'd be laying flat on the roof of a car.
Okay.
And the car hits like 100 miles an hour, and then you start eating the hot dogs because the airflow gets jammed down your throat, and it helps the whole system.
So if you show up with about 400 pounds of equipment, and you're laying vertically, and you have like all these lubricated hot dogs and 10 assistants to shove them in your mouth, and everyone's got the same rig.
Yeah, so that's my question. At what point would they say, okay, this is now no longer hot dog eating? I say as long as it goes past your teeth.
Okay, but then we're introducing a lot of variables past the teeth. Like, we're talking about mechanized equipments and vacuum tubes.
Yeah, the tongue goes out, and in comes like a rotor, like a conveyor belt.
Okay, this is turning into like Warhammer 40K.
This could be a pretty. This could be a horror movie, except like instead of human centipede, it's like human hot dog eater, human trash compactor.
I don't know if this is more crazy than human centipede.
I took out his tongue and I installed a dishwasher disposal, and it grinds up the hot dogs.
Yeah, that's probably way better than the ramjet scenario.
Probably. You know, real talk, guys, like, is performance enhancing drugs like illegal in hot dog eating competitions? Like, can you get high and go? Like, because, you know, someone's brain is like way more down to eat like 30 hot dogs if they're stoned out of their gullet, you know?
Is there a national body that governs the major hot dog eating competitions that you're discussing?
Almost certainly in America. However, in other countries, I can't say. You got to think of a country that is super down with hot dogs, but probably won't be as regulated as us. Antarctica, perhaps? And that's where the real hot dog eating competitions, no holds barred, goes in.
We could start that. We could start a grassroots hot dog eating like
a real league.
Yeah, I want it to be on an oil. I want it to be like when you imagine like Street Fighter and you select a random stage. Like I want my hot dog eating competition to be on an oil rig in like a transatlantic oil rig.
Okay, that's a good idea. We could go to like Enter the Dragon style where there's like an island. And there's one guy who owns the island, and the contestants aren't fighters; they're competitive eaters.
Dude, this guy can't do this all in one day, man. He can't beat 12 competitive eaters going up the fucking tower in one day.
It could be 2 days.
Okay, because this guy beats like 6 people in a hot dog eating contest in one day. Let's say by some miracle, and then like he gets to the middle, and this dude is hot dogless. The guy he's beating, like. He's gonna hit a wall, like Bruce Lee.
But you would just let them rest for a bowel movement.
I don't know, man. I feel like after a hot dog eating competition, I think this dude needs like medical intervention for months from all the nitrates and all the buttholes he just ate.
I don't see how that is more far-fetched than a competition where they fight to the death. Like your problem with this is that they would be full afterwards.
Yeah, dude. Like I feel like if I ate 30 hot dogs and I'm like, okay, I slept, time to eat 30 more, my body's not going to be ready.
So, after time expires in the hot dog eating competition, eaters may relieve themselves however they wish. So if you need to poop or vomit, totally allowed. So he's good. He's just gonna finish in time and then be like, next.
The final boss is always where the hero has to meet their limit. You know, they hit their wall and they gotta push just one farther. You know, it's usually how those anime rules go. You know, or like in kung fu movies, like they hit their limit. So like the boss, are they just kind of neck and neck with hot dogs? And then there's like a half a hot dog left, and like, dude, there's no way. His stomach's full, but he just finds that extra space to shove the last bit down.
And Allie, the more we talk about this, the more I think this is actually a good idea.
Why isn't there a movie about competitive eating like the way there is other sports?
Well, it doesn't have to be hot dogs every time either.
But is it better with
wings?
Oh, wings.
Oh,
Switch it up.
Air Bud?
That's how
an Air Bud competitive eating movie? There ain't no rules. Said a dog can't eat this shit.
It can't be a chicken wing eating episode.
That's how the final boss gets them. They switch to chicken wings in the last event.
Oh shit! But then Air Bud's smart enough to know to eat around the bones.
You know, you're not wrong. I think you might be right there.
Guys, we did it. I think we hit all of the checklists of a GBGB episode. We mentioned hot dogs, eating, and then an Air Bud pitch. Jace, is there anything we're missing in a typical GBGBs episode?
A superhero pitch that will come mid-movie discussion.
Okay. You want to? Yo, real quick, like, speaking of hot dogs, I was kind of going through the Los Angeles subreddit just to kind of see local news. Did you guys hear about the guy who bought a Magic Mountain annual pass and survived on like pretty much Magic Mountain nachos and hot dogs for about 7 or 8 years every single day, and like paid off his student loan and bought a house?
Genius.
How much is it? Wait, okay.
So let's This
dude.
Okay,
so I go to Six Flags. I have a Six Flags season pass.
Okay, you have an annual pass.
But it doesn't include like the food, but there is one that includes food every day.
Mm-hmm. This dude, Dylan, electrical engineer. Of course, it's implied that he's an electrical engineer.
I love
everything about this. From Santa Clarita, California. He paid $150 for an unlimited year-round access to Six Flags, which includes 2 free meals per day, lunch and dinner. This dude was going to Six Flags, he said, about 5 or 6 days a week for about 7 or 8 years, and then was eating pretty much all of his meals. He was like, in the first year, I don't think I ever went to the grocery store. I timed it so I was able to go there during my lunch break at work, go back to work, and stop by for dinner on my way home. Going on roller coasters was a great way to blow off steam after work. So the thought of a dude waiting in line after work and just going on roller coasters every single day after work, I think is brilliant.
Genius.
Oh, wait, sorry. Did you say how much it was? How much was the pass?
The pass is $150.
Which for an annual pass?
That's what this dude said. Yeah, with 2 meals a day. He was kind of talking about the different foods, because I think he said the first year he was eating nothing but ice cream and hot dogs, but he noticed some like health effects after a year. So he was talking about like trying to find.
Oh, that made you change.
Yeah, there's like a chicken
Not the
salad
fact that you
bar.
were literally eating ice cream and hot dogs every single day.
He said in order to get he said he has to time his like entry and exit to match with his lunch break. And he said in order to get to the healthy salad bar, he has to walk through the water park, but he's in like a business casual suit. So the thought of this dude running through a water park with like a suit and tie, or like a tie and a tucked in shirt to get a hot dog and running out, I think is really good.
It took this guy's wife moving in with him to make him stop doing this.
Oh my god. Funny thing, they met at the water park.
Wow. He said when the park is full or if he has a busy day at work, Dylan is forced to settle for something towards the front of the park, like the much dreaded chicken balls. Quote, I got so sick of those chicken balls, he says. I'd estimate I got them around 150 times, and at 5 per meal, that's around 750 balls. I don't know if I could ever eat them again.
What?
Holy crap.
He's never kept an official tally of how many meals he's eaten at Six Flags, but he's guessing around 2,000.
Wow.
For a grand total of, God, whatever, 7 times 150.
$1,000.
That's insane.
That's pretty
cheap.
good. And he said his favorite Six Flags Magic Mountain meal, and this if there is ever an expert of Six Flags Magic Mountain meals, it's this fucking dude. It is the Thanksgiving turkey dog. It's got cranberry sauce and like
that's great.
Yeah, wow. Slathering of mayonnaise and shit.
Okay, well, we lost me.
Turkey, dude, it looks pretty good. If you look up,
I don't exactly put mayonnaise on anything in my turkey dinner.
Yo, I don't either, but I'm looking at a picture right now. I think I'd fuck this dog up.
Oh, you can't really Google Thanksgiving turkey dog and not get pictures of dogs in turkey costumes.
It's a win-win with the Google. Sorry, I had to share that story with you guys after reading it, because I think this guy's, I don't know, one of my personal heroes, I think.
If I live close to a Six Flags and can get a season pass, my kids will have it, so I don't have to parent them.
The season passes here are $50.
Yo. Okay, this dude, he said he works right across the street from the Magic Mountain. Yeah. He says when he gets out of his car, he said to get to like the back of the park, he said it's exactly 5,000 steps on his Fitbit. And that's usually where like the chicken salad is that he needs to get to through the water park. So like this dude's got it planned out where he like gets out, he's fucking hustling, gets back to work with Six Flags food every day, and then goes back again to go on rides and eat.
That's the life.
Huh. Well, with that, you know, guys, I think we didn't really talk a lot about 4th of July, but you know, that's okay. You guys ready to get down with this movie, or?
I am, but was it Dylan?
Dylan
is the compacted essence of the 4th of July, and
yeah, whether he knows it or not. Dylan, Godspeed. Well, with this week, who do we have for the synopsis this week? Is it okay? Let's back up for a sec.
I did Thanksgiving.
So I did MBV, My Bloody Valentine.
It's you, Howie.
But I think we got something twisted at some point.
I did Thanksgiving.
Someone did a double at some point.
Yeah, we got out of track. That's what I was trying to count last time.
Me, Ryan, Jace, me, and it kind of goes like that.
I started the season.
Okay, so that means something got twisted. Because my last one was
MBV. I remember trying to brush it off. I remember like.
So it might have not been you to do Thanksgiving.
I was trying to gaslight you guys.
I think you were right in your gaslighting. Because MBV, that means Ryan should have done Halloween, Jace should have done Thanksgiving, and then it's back to me. That means whoever did Halloween did a double. That was Jace, probably, right?
Yeah, it looks like I did Halloween because when I do the movie description, I always forget to change the scene.
Okay, well that's I'm down to, if we want to hit a reset button, and then I'll do this one, and then we'll just go to Ryan, and then
Jace did Trick or Treat.
I don't care who goes.
And then Jace did Halloween, so it should have been you.
I did Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Anyways, I'll go ahead and do I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'll do the synopsis this week. This is a classic movie, guys, from 1997, endlessly parodied. I've never seen this movie before. But I guess before I begin the synopsis, we should probably explain what we do on this show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do one of you guys want to take that helm?
I can do it. I think Jace did last week.
All right, Ryan, take it away.
We are a loosely we're a movie podcast that rates loosely related things.
Yeah.
Usually these are like actors, like Ben Affleck or Matthew McConaughey. But last season it was dogs.
Dog movies.
Yeah, and now it's horror movies that are set on holidays. It's kind of a weird topic, but we randomly choose these things. And so what we'll do is we'll tell you about the movies, we'll tell you our favorite parts, we'll riff on them, we'll do some bits, and then we'll come in with our spiritometers. And now in this case, that means we're going to be rating these movies on how holiday-y and how much of a holiday horror movie are they? Because that's like a thing, guys. That's like a real thing.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, we'll talk about like how we actually like the movie.
Yeah.
Which is a different discussion.
Entirely.
It's a different. 2 different meters, guys. We're a very precise podcast. I would say we're probably the most precise movie podcast
there's
out
literally zero other podcasts that have I can't even say it without laughing.
Of the 2,700,000 individual podcasts, we're the only
with 2 meters.
We're the only one, too. The other podcasts are all bots. So, yeah, we also do the metaphor this season is the Haunted Holiday Hotel. Check out our thick graphic. Yeah, the metaphor. Where we're stuck in this hotel. We're 5 DVDs deep before the hotel clerk will let us leave his terrible hotel during the holidays. But now, without much further ado, let's get into I Know What You Did Last Summer, featuring heavy hitters, like we said before, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Philippe, Freddie Prinze Jr., a lot of 3-name actors up in here, guys. This movie stars the 4 of these folks. They're teenagers. It's after high school graduation. They're about to leave for college. They're partying it up in the middle of 4th of July. But then, record scratch, they accidentally run over a dude in the middle of the road.
So relatable.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Awkward. So they make the decision, like we all do, to either call the cops or throw this body over the side of the road and act like nothing happened. Obviously, they picked the second option, otherwise we wouldn't have a movie. They choose to cover up this murder.
Well,
probably murder.
Probably murder.
It ends up being murder.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, and then hijinks ensue. It turns out to be a SpongeBob spinoff with the hash-slinging slasher. That guy shows up and just starts hacking away at people. People start getting notes that say, I know what you did last summer. These kids who are trying to move on with their lives, have some fun, keep getting haunted by this gosh darn murder they committed last summer. And this fisherman with a hook is coming to get him. And I'll leave it at that. We can kind of pick apart this movie conceptually from there. But I think that just about does it.
Yeah.
Hot dogs are eaten. Fireworks are shot off. Hooks are thrown.
Both types.
So first things first, Ryan. This is one of your favorite movies. You've talked about this movie before. Jace, is this your first viewing as well?
This is one of those movies that feels like I have watched it at some point in the past, but wasn't like entirely paying attention.
Okay.
Because
I got the same vibe. Yeah.
I don't know that I have. Maybe I've seen scenes of it on TV, like when they go visit the sister who lost her brother. I'm like, I've seen this before.
Yeah, I think my the first impression of this movie I think is interesting because it's a panning shot over some waves and it's a grunge remix of Summer Breeze that's playing, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a perfect period piece of the late 90s, early 2000s to a T. And I was right, man. Like, next to Daredevil, I think this is one of the most time capsule type movies that I think we've seen so far.
Yeah, it's very almost dazed and confused, where the main characters commit a murder rather than just spank people with paddles. And I don't know what's worse, but it's a good movie. I think it's a good movie. It's not a great movie. It's not a bad movie. There are some things that are just like really, really interesting about this movie, and I want to talk to you guys about them. But there are also some parts where there's some head scratchers. And
totally.
Yeah.
Knowing that this movie came off the back of Scream, to give a little context, Kevin Williamson is the writer of this movie, and he also wrote Scream. But he wrote this before Scream, and nobody would buy it. And then Scream wasn't a hit, and it kind of like started the resurgence of slasher movies in the 90s. And this movie got funded with the cast of all casts.
Oh yeah, basically like proto Scooby-Doo we got
right here. Yes, and it might not be as strong as Scream, but it's definitely like
or Scooby-Doo.
nearly as iconic. Where, yeah, the hook.
What's crazy about this movie, I feel, is like I feel like these characters kind of ran into a murderer who kind of already had his backstory already established.
Oh my god, that's
like
that's my big thing. That it's like it's such a great premise.
Yeah.
But the last part of the movie, you're like, wait. So wait a minute.
There's another movie.
They didn't actually do anything. Like the murder is essentially, ow, you gave me a crank in my back after I got done murdering that guy. Oh.
And then he just goes back and gets him. But like, why is he so themed? Like normally with our other slashers we've seen this season, there's like, okay, this dude's thing is that he uses drilling equipment because he's fucked up, he's a miner.
Now, that's an interesting topic. That topic is that I think it's a deliberate twist on how the, not enemy, but how the main baddie is normally portrayed. Whereas normally in a horror movie, if you're wearing a scary costume, you stick out. And therefore we know on screen that's the bad guy. But in this, that's right. Like by wearing what they call it, a slicker, it's a fisherman's costume.
Yeah, like a Long John Silver outfit. Like
right. Other people in town wear that like naturally, like all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's how he's able to hide his identity and appear as we don't know who it is.
But he's doing like themed kills, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's killing in a method that, if you break down the character, is just entirely natural. He's used to using a gaff. He's used to using a hook. And there's actually something that I think is really interesting when you go back at the end of the movie and you think about his first kill. It was Ben?
Ben, I think was Ben the bad guy?
Ben was the bad guy. The
Johnny Galecki's character.
The poor soul that got sucked into all this, that got
Max, what the
punched,
fuck?
Max that gets punched in the face by the douchey rich kid multiple times, which I could go on and on about the power hierarchy in this group of friends that literally nobody's willing to stop this kid from punching people, and nobody cares. But you know, he had nothing to do with the original night that the murderer would have known, because he was knocked unconscious when he drove by. But the 4 people that he was interested in killing came to that fishing hut, and that guy was probably just there working. He was there on his day working, and he saw the guy that he wanted to kill come in, probably rough up. I already forgot his name, Max.
Yeah.
He roughs up Max. The killer sees that. He sees him interact with it. And Max, you know what I think it was? Max was like, "Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me." And he was like, "Oh, this is a loose end. I can't let this guy have my kill. I can't let him mess up what I'm going to do." And I think that's what led to him getting killed, which is unfortunate because he really had nothing to do.
Max didn't do shit.
He didn't do shit. He got punched in the face twice, and he got the first hook. It sucks so bad.
He got paid afterwards. He went on to be Leonard in The Big Bang Theory.
That's what happens in the afterlife, guys.
Yeah.
Is you get on Big Bang Theory.
But the funny thing is that he was a hottie in this movie. I thought he was a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Dude, he was like a hunk, man, swinging around those big ice blocks.
Yeah.
But, you know...
Those things weigh probably what? At least 8 pounds.
Yeah, at least.
So, I mean, this killer, he does a lot of, like, kind of like in My Bloody Valentine, where he like decorates with hearts. Like, there's a scene where he sets up someone's body and just fills the trunk with crabs.
Yes, I want to talk about the crabs.
What the fuck was
It's Max.
Yeah, it was Max.
But then, like, so he fills the trunk with crabs, right? And there's Max, and then, you know, scares the shit out of JLH's character. But then she goes inside, and then the body's gone, and the crabs are gone. How did he move 80 live crabs?
I know. That's my favorite.
I think there was a tarp underneath his body.
Oh.
And then he was able to just... I still think it's crazy. There should have been a crab leg or two in the back of that car.
I love it because Jace deconstructed a scene in Halloween And that was a great episode, you guys. But
Yeah.
Jace deconstructed how much time it would take Michael Myers to walk around a car, get in the car, and drive away.
We could do this.
And I want to think also, like, so this killer has to be like really close when she opens the trunk, because she goes inside, comes back out, and all the crabs are gone. So I want like a behind the scenes footage or like a director's cut where it's the bad guy not being scary at all because he's like hurried, like throwing crabs in a sack.
Oh fuck, oh she's right there, oh shit.
And like getting nipped, you know.
Fuck, oh.
So Jace, can you throw like one of your roommates in a trunk, have them lay down on a tarp, buy 80 crabs from like the city market, whatever, throw them in there, and then just time how long it takes to wrap it up, pick up the body, and get out of sight. Not a crab out of place.
I think we can do it. I'll pitch the idea.
Actually,
it would be so funny.
Better yet, put it in Yuri's trunk. That way she's like unsuspect, you know, and then have her like get out and have her come back and see if she notices there's been crabs.
Yeah, okay. This is going to be tough because we got a lot of hatchbacks nowadays.
Oh,
we didn't have many of those 1997.
Would you smell, I don't know, 80 crabs?
Yeah, for sure.
On a hot summer day?
Yeah, and the friends are like, oh, how do we know you're telling the truth, that you really saw crabs? Well, there's crab shit everywhere.
You smell like shit.
It smells like there's been 80 crabs in here on this 100-degree day.
It's literally the 4th of July.
Oh, JLH, everyone knows you have crab-based delusions. Like, what a random ass thing to make up.
It's kind of... I haven't watched the second movie, but I did read the premise of it, and it is kind of thematic in a way that, like, they go on to explore the premise of the fact that she's having nightmares, and she's seeing things because she's traumatized.
Yes.
So
okay.
I want to take 30 seconds and point out that our theme for this season is extremely close to the plot of the second movie in this series, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. They get trapped in a haunted hotel.
Oh my god.
And people start dropping.
I thought you were going to say they got trapped in like a hot dog or something. You know, something that's like even more 4th of July themed, but I see what you mean. Is there a way we can make this killer more 4th of July themed? You know, it's not really like a, you know, he's a fisherman, right? Like, is there a way to kind of...
He does say, in Ben Willis's defense, he does say, happy 4th of July.
Okay, that gives...
trying to hook somebody.
Totally fair. Maybe like a frozen rolled up Declaration of Independence that he like hits people with,
or like a firework themed kill.
Oh yeah, maybe just a gun, just a standard gun.
I've got some gripes with the gun related issue in the movie, but yeah, he's probably drunk.
That's pretty 4th of July. Maybe a frozen sharpened hot dog that he stabs people with.
Ooh,
like, you know, he like sharpens the end like a pencil.
That's the perfect crime, and then you just eat it afterwards.
Oh shit, dude, you eat the evidence. Uh-oh, Ryan, we're back in good idea territory. So he sticks like a bunch. You can buy Oscar Myers by the 6, and he got a bunch of these sharpened ones, and he takes a new one out, and then maybe like writes the name of the next, his next kill.
It's like the icicle in the Weston game.
Right. And that, well, I don't know what the Weston game, but I've heard using icicles to kill people.
Did I just spoil a 70-year-old book?
Yeah, well, so like he stabs people with the he stabs people with a hot dog, eats the hot dog, then blows their body up with a firework, like with an M80.
That'd be okay.
You know, I think we could make a holiday horror movie.
Yeah,
on 4th of July. Wow,
there is a movie. There is a terrible like Z movie called like Uncle Sam or something.
Have him dress like Uncle Sam. He kills people with a sharpened hot dog and a gun sometimes, and blows their body up with like 6 M80s. Oh, a musket, dude, nice.
This is getting pretty close to, I think, what Jace wants to talk about.
Yeah, I want to pitch
the opposite of a villain.
So who stops this dude?
It's the superhero.
Yeah.
You know,
just pitch him, man.
Somebody's got to move the meat around.
Okay.
In the deli counter.
Yeah.
How many times are we gonna talk about meat this episode?
Yeah, right. That it's kind of because I was just,
Meat's gross, man.
Yeah, it's a deli.
Yeah, it's a deli. You got to move meat around.
They got to move meat around. They probably got frozen pigs somewhere if they have a big freezer in the deli dudes. Yeah. So, you know, I'm pitching the silent assassin of the GBGBs, the only person that can fight this guy, because Max is deadly silent. This dude snuck into a house, hid in a closet for a whole night. And
wait,
then
you're talking about not Max. This is Ben Willis.
Ben Willis.
Yeah, Max, the first victim. Okay, yeah.
I'm talking about the baddie.
Yeah,
he's super silent.
Oh, totally.
He's pretty quick. We need another meat hooker. We need the hooker.
Did you just accidentally name him?
No, his name was the hooker. He uses meat hooks, and he's really quiet.
So it's a fight fire with fire situation.
Wait. So is his hooks made of meat?
No,
no, they're meat hooks.
He's trained well with them. Okay. They're just meat hooks.
Oh, so it's two hook people fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds sick, actually. That sounds pretty sick. But what's his... Is he kind of like...
It's like Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. It's like a fish hook guy and a pig meat hook guy.
But is he like Hawkeye, where he's just like... He's really skilled just from his experiences? Or does he have like a power?
I haven't gotten that far. I think Ryan had a great idea earlier.
What?
He knows very obtusely what each person he fights with did last summer.
Yeah.
So he knows what they did last summer, and
but most of the time it's not helpful. Most of the time it's like, oh, really? A road trip to Mount Rushmore? How original.
He's probably gonna like get most people on like tax fraud, or like he's like, oh, he fudged his numbers on the IRS.
It gives him a little mental edge because he can say something about their past. You're like, what?
I just imagine him being like in on a meeting, and then with the other jelly dudes who are, if you don't know, there are a superhero group,
right?
Who with very kind of intangible
jelly-based superpowers. Listen to our Surviving Christmas episode if you're lost, but don't see the movie.
I'm gonna watch that movie this year.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
And the deli dudes need a guy who just is like a normal dude. But who knows what you did last summer?
But he also moves meat real good with the hooks.
Very quietly. He's a sleuth.
Wait, why does he need to be... them? Jace, why does he need to be so quiet?
He's the silent meat hook assassin. He's the silent hooker, dude.
Dude, I don't know if I'm psyched about the name. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna print.
The hooker?
I don't think that's gonna print.
It's got two hooks.
Yeah, I get the name. So is the deli dudes like annoyed that he's like slapping the meat on the counter too loud, and they had to fire the last 6 guys? He puts them on the counter really quiet.
Oh, and like eerily so, like, you know, when people need something, he's like,
I just thought that was maybe he could answer like the job application questions very kind of easily in a way that the interviews would be like, you know, I kind of like this guy. This kind of seems like he seems like I would drive with him.
You know, people like, you ever have those Subway guys or like a deli guy, and they kind of slap the meat straight on your sandwich? And they slap
you can kind of hear it.
Yeah, and it's like, does that make you want to eat it more or less?
Less.
Sometimes it's more for me. I'm like, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it gets me hyped for the sandwich when they slap it on real good. But I think it depends on the person slapping it on the meat. Slapping the meat on there. But anyways, like this guy, no noise at all when he makes the subs. I think we got some good ideas there. Maybe just as a last thing, this killer can like fly with firework jets. Just a thought.
You mean the hero?
No, I mean like in the movie. If we redid, I know
we
it did
redid
last
them.
summer.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe he can
For sure.
fly with fireworks. Just
Like
just
fly with fireworks, like Iron Man style.
yeah, like but only once.
In like really short amounts of time.
That's actually how he dies at the end. Is that
Malfunction.
he actually figures out there's no like going down part of his flying rig, and it's only the up part.
It's a separate set of fireworks.
Yeah, and he's like, piss, and then
or they just blow up his hands, and then he spends like the last scene in the movie just in the hospital, and he's like, "This is a really bad idea.
Fuck,
I shouldn't have done this.
I'm just a statistic." Well, let's keep going through this movie, guys. I think we're getting a little away from it again. So there's a turn in this movie. We already kind of spoiled it, but for a long time in this movie, they're kind of trying to figure out who they killed or who's trying to kill them. But they eventually find out, and you guys might need to guide me through this again. The killer is the father of this girl who died a few years ago, and they thought they ran over that girl's boyfriend. This father blamed that boyfriend for his daughter's death, murdered the boyfriend, and then they accidentally ran over this murderer with a car that night. And the murderer
as he was walking away from the murder scene.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't follow that, that's okay, because it's kind of hard in the movie a little bit too.
Unnecessary.
Yeah,
it's totally unnecessary, and that's what I was talking about earlier when we went far afield.
Yeah,
but why not just have maybe one or two possible identities, and then it ends up being one? Not like it's this guy's. So this guy had a girlfriend who died, and then this one was the victim, and then like
yeah.
It's so complicated, and by the end, you're like, I don't give a fuck about this murderer guy. At the end, you really don't care. Like, the bad guy should be someone who's a little bit sympathetic in a way. Like, even the old slashers would have, oh, Jason, he was drowned in the lake. You know?
I disagree
Freddy
a little bit.
Krueger was wrongfully convicted and burned alive.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Jace, I'm with you. I mean, please, because I think this guy was sympathetic.
I think he was sympathetic, and I think it added to the movie for me, because I think there was a layer of suspense in the first time of watching this, specifically for me, not knowing who the killer was. I thought it was going to be the guy. I thought it was going to be the boyfriend, and then I thought it was going to be the sister, and then
Billy Blue.
And then Billy, and they added, I think they actually did pretty well with the backstory in this, and like making you feel like you knew the history of the town, because they go out of their way to say that everybody blamed the kid for killing her.
Yeah.
And then you kind of feel for the dad. It's like, oh, he lost his daughter. The whole town had a huge amount of animosity towards this kid. And then he goes crazy. And I was like, okay, sure. Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah. I think I'm with you there in regarding his story, but I think the way he acted was too
murdering people with fish hooks.
Yeah. And like Max was clocked in. He was literally just working his shitty job. And this guy's like, I'm gonna fucking waste this dude in like the craziest way, just because he kind of shook his fist at a guy who ran me over once. Like, I don't know, like that part.
And the thing is, the fisherman killer guy, he doesn't even take the opportunity to kill the main cast. There's multiple scenes where he goes one by one and visits each of them, and like obviously is toying with them and had the opportunity to kill them and chose not to. And then Max just gets it.
Yeah. Was he just like, fuck Max? Maybe
I think everybody was like that.
Mm-hmm. That's where I think the prequel movie is going to come in, where Max, I think, probably like, I don't know, like, cut him off in traffic once, and he's like, I'm gonna kill this guy, but like not for the same reasons. I feel like I kind of knew this killer wasn't like Ryan Philippe's character or any of like the brother or anything like that, because this guy had crazy dad strength too. like this dude was hooking people and lifting them off the ground with the force. And this guy was built like a Mack truck. So I was like, this guy's older. And I think they didn't hide the fact that he looked like a mid 40s, 50s man too.
His hands
looked like an old guy. And then it was so confusing. I think when it finally revealed that it's this guy, my reaction wasn't, oh my God. It was kind of like, what? Oh, okay, cool. I guess the suspense is that he's killing these guys. It wasn't like a blow you away twist. Right. I don't even know if it was a twist. Like these 4 guys stumbled into a horror movie that was already happening.
If they had turned around on that road and driven home, he would have lived, not known who hit them, and they never would have been murdered.
What the fuck? Oh shit! I really should be careful.
There's so many like what ifs, and there's even one what if that they deliberately say, no, we're not going to do that. Jennifer Love Hewitt says, should we check his wallet when they're sitting there on the dock and gonna throw his body in the ocean to dispose of it? And like that would have solved the entire mystery. Mm-hmm. And you were and your excuse was, no, I don't want to know who I killed.
Also, like I feel like they wouldn't have gotten in as I understand being scared, but I feel like they wouldn't really have gotten in trouble if they just gone to the cops, or like to the authorities, like because the guy was in the middle of the road.
No, that's the issue too, is that like, okay, actually watching that scene a couple times, like it's a good scene. Yeah. And Freddie Prinze Jr. nails it. I think he's the best actor in the whole bunch, this movie. But like, he does a good job, and he says like, they're not gonna believe that I was driving. Because it's his car. He tells everybody that nobody's allowed to drive the car, and he's drunk. They're gonna believe that he was driving.
Right. But my counterpoint is Ryan Phillippe's character had his whole body out of the sunroof and is covered in the dude's blood.
Yes.
And so, like, how's he covered in the dude's blood if he was driving? Unless he's driving with his feet outside the sunroof. Right. So I think that's what again, I'm Monday morning quarterbacking here off these guys' decisions. Yeah.
Does it matter in that case? I mean, obviously small town, but
sure.
If he's like, no, I'm sober, I was driving, I hit him.
Yeah.
Is there really anything that they can say? Be like, hey, fuck you.
Oh, do you guys want to talk about just kind of how this movie wraps up before we get into our reviews? Just what happens to the murderer and kind of how our folks make it through?
Sure.
Because the way this guy goes, I think, is kind of unceremonious. Like, the guy's about to do the killing blow, right? He's got the hook in his hand. He's about to kill Jennifer Love Hewitt's character. He gets his hook caught in like the rigging or something on the ship. And then Freddie Prinze Jr. hits a button. This guy shoots straight up the rigging, and then he shoots so hard, I guess, he hits like the widget thing or like the joint of the thing, pulley. The pulley. Thank you. And his hand just gets fucking lopped off. And then the pulley just yeets him straight off the ship, like 80 feet away into the water. And I'm like, wow, they straight up just yeeted him off camera. And the movie ends.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, the movie does not end. We have a great ending scene.
Right. Yeah.
No closure. And like you see him get shot off into the. You've seen this man nearly die. He's got a Constitution score of 20. He's nearly unkillable. He gets shot into that water, and honestly, I was like, "There's another one, isn't there?"
Yeah,
and I don't know if I was fully aware of whether or not there was a second movie, so I Googled it, and it's like, "Yep, there is a second movie, and he's still fucking alive."
They fucking team rocketed this dude. Like, he shot in the air, and he turned into a star, and he came back. Like, the double tap wasn't done here, and like even the cop was like, "Don't worry, the body will show up." They usually do most of the time. Kind of walks off, which I thought was pretty funny. And then I think they do another flash forward, don't they? Like a year later.
Yeah.
With JLH in the dorm room. Now she's got closure. She's like, "Oh, phew, thought I murdered a guy, but I didn't."
Said I murdered a different guy.
I did. Some guy did probably die, but I guess it was justified, I guess, in her mind. So, and then she's in the dorm room, and then in perfect handwriting, she sees another message. I still know. And then the longshoreman breaks the window and attacks her. But it rolls credits. But I think this raises the other question about the longshoreman outfit. Like this guy's
How
in
did he get into a
all girls dorm
in Boston,
and this guy's in a full black longshoreman outfit with the hat, with the hooks. And how the fuck is he in there? I know he's got a stealth skill of like 20, but that's just bananas, right? Like,
I gotta check the fish in the shower.
And he's in the shower.
He's in that room, and you can't even get into a normal, like, shitty dorm hall. Like, you know, Jace, you and I had the same dorm hall.
Yeah.
Like, they check you when you come in.
Yeah.
And if you're 9 feet tall in, like, a big-ass rain jacket with hooks, they're going to be like, whoa, there, salt guy on the front of those salt packets. Like, where are you going? You know, they're going to... I just feel like this guy, he has some kind of mystical power where he's perfectly silent, nearly indestructible, and I think he's afflicted with the same type of knee problems as Michael Myers, where he can't, like, kind of run because he has all this raw power. Because, like, he's kind of slowly sauntering, absorbing all these hits towards all his kills. You guys ready to get into our movie meters? Do you think we said enough?
I think we've said enough. I think we've said everything that can't be said in like a one-person discussion.
All right, so I guess we'll get into our reviews. This season we are utilizing the Spiritometer, which is a measure, as Ryan mentioned, of how holiday-y this movie is. So this one here, for a Spiritometer, I think it's going to be pretty low. I was kind of thinking about this. We talked about how to make this more 4th of July-y because this one wasn't hitting it for me. First of all, the killer, it was crab themed. It was fish themed, okay? It was totally not 4th of July themed. Yes, we did get a, oh my god, it's 4th of July, and happy 4th of July as he tries to do a killing blow. But that's not going to do it for me, guys. I got a few fireworks scenes, but I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't seeing those grills ripping. I wasn't seeing those Bud Lights cracking open and those hot dogs getting horked down. This thing is going to be probably a 1 for me. I think they did an obligatory fireworks shot, and they said 4th of July. But this ain't like a 4th of July movie, dude. This is a fish movie. If there was a fish holiday...
The pageant.
Oh, dude, that pageant also was a fish pageant too, because it was like the Horker pageant.
They had a huge fish,
and like she was on a fish parade float, man. Like, so I think they could have done a lot to make this more holiday themed, and I think it would have been more memorable if this dude was shooting wrist fireworks and Roman candles at these people he's trying to kill. So it's gonna be a 1.
I disagree, man. I counted the 4th of July references, and I got to 10, and I spaced out for a good 20 minutes. So I'm assuming it's at least 11. I don't understand how that could be a 1. Like,
it's lip service, Ryan. The spirit isn't there.
To me, like, that's almost like this is not even a holiday horror movie at all, and it's just a normal horror movie would be 0. Like,
I wasn't gonna go there, but I'm kind of on that. I don't know.
Don't push him toward the light. Don't. He's getting closer to it.
I'm gonna go with
a
dramatically different. Absolutely, I'm on the other end of the scale. I'm gonna give it a 3.
It's triple my score.
3 times as much 4th of July as Denali saw. I don't know what he was watching. There's not much else to say with a low score like that. You're kind of right. This could have been a movie where they go to a campground for the 4th of July and get killed in the woods. I think ultimately it's not really the biggest holiday horror movie. I'm glad we watched it, so we have one on the lower end of the spectrum.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I am too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun to see the moats and bounds of the actual genre. So a 3. What else is there to say?
Yeah, I think, if you traded out any holiday, I don't think it would change the DNA, in my opinion.
Right. It could be St. Patrick's Day with just like shots of beer and clovers rather than fireworks.
Sorry, Jace, please. I don't want to,
I'm going to give it a 4. It's the same move. It's the same score that I gave Halloween. I think it runs kind of in the same vein. I think they did a lot lore-wise for me in this movie. And I'm going to give him points. The guy, it's obviously was like the traumatic day and the reason that he committed the first murder, but he kills people on 4th of July.
Okay.
He even waited. It was like, just wait, it's coming. Like, it had to be very specifically on this day. Yeah, it wasn't overly holiday horror themed, but it was filled with enough nuance and world building, and this guy only killing people on one day of the year that I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Still on the low side. I think that's also about the same that we gave to Thanksgiving. So,
I mean, if he was like, as he was hooking people, he was like, in order to form a more perfect union, and he like, would stab them, and kind of quote some more of a declaration or the preamble.
Yeah, I agree. And then I think it comes down to some of the other like the more point-based things that should be in my spiritometer. Like, this guy's a jag. Unlike these kids, I could have beat the shit out of that dude. I'm pretty happy in saying that. Like, I think a normal person that's like a normal man that weighs like 180 pounds probably could have put up a fight against him compared to what we saw.
I was gonna ask you that, Jace, your binary scale of could I fuck him up? Is this gonna be a yes? Yeah,
I could actually take this guy because you know. I think unless I had to be, this will come up in my actual movie meter, but
wow, okay,
I would have had to have been as stupid as these kids, I think, to get killed by this guy.
All right, let's say remove all of his advantages, right? You guys are just in a drawn circle on the ground. You guys are both butt naked. Yeah. Both frozen hot dogs sharpened in your hands. Each get one. Who's gonna come out of that circle?
That's me. You're increasing the odds in my favor. Oh, actually, though, he's probably good at wrangling fish. So.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the sweatier I get, the more grip he has.
Now that is a terrible superhero.
The more fish-like someone gets, the more fight advantages he has. The stupidest fucking thing. Does he wait until the people are wearing like scuba suits to beat the shit out of him?
That might be the dumbest hero idea we've come up with.
Corn Dog Man could fuck this guy up. I don't know if you remember from way...
Corn Dog Man.
This was probably maybe even back to Daredevil, where there was a corn dog murderer we pitched, where he had a sharpened corn dog stick and he would like shank people through the corn dog.
That's right. That was the first one.
Yeah, I think that was the first one. Because I would think this longshoreman would be rushing at him, and Corn Dog Man with that like hot dog, like a Naruto kunai knife, just fucking flings it, goes through the guy's head, through his eyeball, and kills him instantly. And the cops are like, What happened? How'd you get this murderer? You dropped him. He was 80 feet away. And he's like, he fell on his hot dog. What can I say? Anyways, movie meter, I guess. Movie meter for this one. So I watched this movie today, but it was a little bit before this podcast started, so I had a little bit of digestion time. This movie was a surprise because I actually found it to be really fun. I did enjoy this. I was expecting it to be kind of like a gory, cringy slasher movie. But instead, I had a lot of fun watching, JLH and FPJ and SMG just goofing it up with RP, and it was a great time. These people kind of hammed it up a little bit. I think like some scenes, there was some lines where I was like, oh Jesus Christ, like Freddie Prinze Jr. being like, "It's because you're the love of my life," and like there's music playing, and I'm like, oh fuck, but. Other times though, I think their delivery was really great. I actually liked JLH as kind of like the quote unquote last girl archetype. I think she did a great job. She was believable. I think all of their arcs was compelling. The situation was kind of had me on my toes. Even though the twist kind of was a little lackluster, I think I was entertained throughout. The last act where the killer is revealed and he's just a guy chasing people around a boat, I think I was like, this is kind of dumb. But overall, I think I had a good time. I'm gonna give this a 6. It's gonna be a little above average. I think I'll give it a possible recommend if you're into these types of movies, or just looking for a kind of a lighthearted slasher type movie. So it's gonna be a 6 for me.
Wow, I am pleasantly surprised. Honestly, I thought I was gonna have to come in here and defend this movie.
Defend a Ryan favorite.
But that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I think I agree with everything. I don't think the ending is great. I think the reveal should have been left for like maybe a very, very end scene. But other than that, there's nothing really wrong with this movie. And I think I'm teetering on like a 7, right? That's being a little generous. I want to go with a 6, but I think I'm gonna go with a 7.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like the hook story in the intro with the beach scene. So all the friends are sitting on the beach and they tell the classic scary story about the killer and with a hook for a hand, or he kills with a hook, and that's actually the point, is they can't get it straight. There's 4 different versions of this story because there's 4 different people at the party. And that's what I love most. Like, that is my favorite thing in the world, is telling scary stories by oral storytelling. And I wrote an entire book about the idea of oral storytelling. And this is just something that, wow, like, I really like the idea that everybody knows this horror story. And do the details matter? Yeah, because it's coming true. Like, it's very Scream-esque in that way. There's almost nothing to hate on about this movie. I think the performances were fine for, teenagers in the 90s. It was okay.
Right.
There are some scenes that are terrific where I really like the reveal that he cut Sarah Michelle Gellar's hair at night when she was sleeping because he overheard her talking to her sister about their hair or something.
It was a pretty nice cut too. Like, it looked
bad,
pretty even. Like, surprising care was put into it.
So this killer is like really petty, and he'll mess with people in like really, really specific ways. I love the idea of a petty killer, and that's something that the writer Kevin Williamson puts into his work a lot. And the idea that one story can have like multiple themes depending on whose perspective you're looking at it from is, I think, one of the greatest things about Kevin Williamson's work. And he does that in this movie by having 4 teenagers who some have different attitudes towards the killings. I really like the variety of characters, and to have 4, like, maybe not like prime in their primes, but like 4 pretty good actors. They're not A-list at this time, but like I think this movie comes together in all the right ways. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Hell yeah. That's a good score. I think, dude, I don't disagree, man. And I can see how this could be someone's like one of their favorite movies too.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's, it's kind of a cult, I think, type of movie.
Yeah, especially if you're from an area like that, right? Like, there's probably people from these coastal cities on the East Coast that, connect with this in a way that we don't necessarily.
Totally. Jace, you got that final movie score for us.
I thought it had a lot of charm. The actual only thing that I want to dock this movie for is I would have preferred more characters versus like the environment, or characters versus the forces that be. Seemed like since the beginning, I know they're, like you said, they're dumb teenagers. They each one of them set themselves up to fail.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's needed for the premise of the movie, but I kept joking last night, like the rich kid whose name I'm forgetting gets killed because Barry is watching the entire crowd looking for a killer up on top of a walkway. And he's like trying to watch to make sure she doesn't get killed. It's like, there are 200 people in that room. She's not going to get killed in front of everybody. Why aren't you walking? Why aren't you watching behind you in this one situation where you're supposed to be paying attention?
Yeah.
And it was funny. It kind of came together, and I was annoyed by it, but there's charm to the movie. I liked how the movie looked. I thought the acting was fine, really good in times, and other times it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, classic slasher.
It was a
acting.
different time. Yeah,
yeah,
it was a different time.
But like, fully recommend. I'm also giving it a 7.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good scores across the board. This might be one of the. Is this one of the? Oh no, Halloween was probably the highest. I think. Right.
Halloween. We like Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat. Yeah.
Yes.
There's some good horror. There's some good holiday horror movies, guys.
Yeah. Quick Temperature better than Thanksgiving. Just.
I was thinking about Thanksgiving because you guys were talking about whether or not Jace could beat up the villain. Did we talk about that in Thanksgiving?
Dude, I really feel like Jace, what do you think though? Just briefly, if we didn't.
Wow, I don't know. He kind of like exploded out of it. He's got some real. The turkey is not just a guy. I think I'm kind of reserving my my fight or flight. I think I can't. I'm flighting from that.
That's fair, dude. The jock Chad bro, he did get stabbed by the turkey in a 1v1. So I think that's totally fair.
He's got a shotgun, dude. This guy's a hook.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's
He
right.
does have a shotgun.
Put the turkey in this movie, and it's a turkey crossing a road, and he gets hit by a car.
Oh.
And the kids are like, it's just a turkey. And then they get a note the next summer. It's like, I know what you did last summer. And they're like, what could he possibly be talking about?
I don't even remember that. That might even be more American than this is a bird used for food in an American holiday shooting people.
I know
with a
what
gun.
you did last Thanksgiving.
Oh shit. Well, sweet. I think we digested that one pretty good. I think that's a solid recommend for the 4th of July season. Maybe not to get in the mood, but just just a solid summer movie. But next up, guys, we need to decide our next
That's right.
holiday horror film.
I somehow forget that we do this every time.
I do too, because we get in such a rhythm. The 6th of December is gonna be whatever we pick. So
we might want to knock out one of the Christmas movies
to start off, and then do a Christmas movie day of.
Yeah, we should probably do 2 of them.
Krampus.
I would be down for Krampus.
I've never seen Krampus.
There's also another Krampus movie called Krampus: The Reckoning. Don't accidentally watch that.
What about A Christmas Horror Story? It's where Santa Claus fights saves a town plagued by malevolent spirits, zombie elves, and Krampus, the anti-Santa Claus.
What's the name of that one?
A Christmas Horror Story. Wow, did you see the picture of Krampus in this movie?
Is he yoked?
Damn. Dude, he's fucking chucked, man. He looks like
the cover is amazing.
He looks like he's from Gwar. Like
fight or flight? Flight.
It got William Shatner, you guys.
Holy shit.
So, are we?
One of the reviewers.
We should probably watch the actual.
No, let's watch Krampus. Okay. This is a bit of a horror comedy, right? This is a little bit in the same vein as maybe Thanksgiving, except done a little better.
I don't know if it's in the same vein. I think it's probably more along the lines of Trick or Treat.
So still a fun romp, but they actually try.
Yes, it's got like actual people who have made movies before. It's also from the same guy who made Trick or Treat. Let's be clear.
Oh, is it really the same?
Literally the same guy.
Okay.
I think it's interesting that Kevin Williamson made Scream, which is like the other half of the Mystery Gang in it.
Yeah, and they're both the movies that are parodied in Scary Movie.
Well, guys, we hope you guys will join us next week with our screening of Krampus. Feel free to watch along for the holiday season. Thank you guys for listening thus far. If you guys haven't left a review yet, please take a moment and leave us a review on the old Apple Podcasts.
It takes like 2 seconds, honestly.
Yeah, just, and you don't have to say much in that review box, and listen, for those of you who have already left us a review, you guys,
thank you.
We are in your blood debt. We owe you one favor.
Blood debt.
All right? It's a blood debt. The only redeemable one I can do is give you a shout out on the show. So just let me know when you want to.
Oh, I can do better than that.
Yeah, what's your blood debt, Ryan?
Oh, you have to mail me your request.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mail Ryan your blood debt and he'll settle that. Jace, do you have a blood debt that you're willing to put on the table?
I will kill your worst enemies.
No, no, come on. Ryan,
you said blood debt.
That's okay.
I will put coal in your enemy's stocking.
There we go. In a legal way. What?
I'll put a stocking full of coal.
Yeah.
In your mailbox.
In their mailbox.
Is that federally compliant? Isn't there like
some
mail?
No, but that's okay. They're not gonna. They won't track us down.
I'll put coal in a white sock so it has no relation to any type of any Judeo-Christian holiday, and put it at the end of their driveway.
Nice. Jace will do that for those people who reviewed us. Jace will do that, and that carries forward to anyone who reviews afterwards. Just do it real quick. And then leave us a 5 stars and just type whatever you want in there. As long as it's not, as long as it's cool, type whatever you want in there, and it's the biggest way you guys can help us. we're super psyched that you guys have been listening in every week. And so if you guys can shoot us that review, apparently Apple likes it. They think people with reviews is cool or something.
Well, it is, but not as cool as people who leave reviews.
Yo, people who leave reviews. I was in a bar the other day, and some guy with like a leather jacket leaning on a jukebox. He was like, you know what's cool? Leaving reviews. And I was like, damn, that guy probably knows exactly what's cool. So just food for thought, guys. Anyways, follow us on Instagram, Good Boys Gone Bland. Follow us on the Twitter at GBGB Podcast.
Yeah, our social media is pretty good.
It's pretty good social media, guys. I just made a TikTok, so follow us on TikTok if you're a TikToker. We'll be throwing up some GBGB TikTok content. Jace will be doing some dance challenges. Oh yeah, so it'll be some great stuff on there.
What can I do?
Ryan, what do you got a talent for TikTok? We can do like a burger eating speed run. We can do.
Okay, well, I can't do them very fast, dude. My belly.
Dude, that's totally fine, dude. Like, so everyone's into like fast you can be one of the slow burger guys.
How can TikTok videos be like half hour long?
Pretty long.
Is that they expand it?
I've definitely watched a TikTok that's over a minute.
Whoa.
Okay, Ryan, yeah.
TikTok the clock, am I right?
Follow us on TikTok at Good Boys Gone Bland. These are all separated by underscores, but you'll figure it out. Follow us on all the things, and be sure to tell if you guys are at a barbecue, provided you guys are being COVID safe, you got all vaccinated and stuff. Maybe tell your grill master about us.
Yeah.
You ever accidentally hit somebody on the road with your car? Tell them.
Please call an ambulance. Don't be careful on the road, guys.
Tell the EMT about us.
Tell the Jesus Christ. For the sign off, guys, I was kind of playing with an idea. So every week we kind of we spin up a kind of a good sign off. You guys have been really good on the fly, but I kind of in my head I noticed some podcasts leave with some words of wisdom, and I think we can kind of conjure one up with three of our brains. So kind of like a theater exercise people do is they kind of do like a word, kind of like I'll say a word, then Ryan says a word, then Jay says a word, and we kind of keep going until we say a cognizant sentence. And I figured we can give a piece of advice using the three of our brains, just kind of whatever comes out. We're kind of all meshed together doing these for like almost 40 episodes now. I feel like we can kind of create a good piece of advice. So Jace, do you want to just give us the first word and we'll just kind of go around until we have a piece of advice?
Whenever.
You
fish
up
a river.
Remember
to
soak
your
pointy
frozen
corn dog.
Wait, whatever. What was that all the way through?
Whenever you fish up a river, remember to soak your pointy frozen corn dog.
That's fucking stupid. That's it. Good night.